You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
This makes my nipples hard.
Hi there, and welcome to the show. Today, Paul and I have decided to play a game. Do you know, you ever been out with your kids, say
No.
camping or out and about? No? It's not good. Was that bad?
Oh, no, I was just saying, no, I've never been out with my kids ever. I was being what you might call a dick.
Here I was thinking, oh no, it's another. You guys listening don't have any clue how many intros I try before we actually start. So I was just automatically assuming that Paul was just like, this one sucks too.
And that's how I shoot them down like a total asshole. No. Insufficient. Start over.
But have you ever? Are we starting over?
No.
Okay, good.
I hope you're not this literal the whole episode. Jesus Christ.
You ever been out with your kid? And I mean, Paul hasn't, but sometimes parents go out with their kids or even they do this at home. You might do this at home. You ever played a game called Would You Rather? Like, would you rather eat a spicy pickle or
A dick. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
That was a bit strong for this early in the episode. I like to let people wake up a little before.
Especially when I'm talking about kids' games.
Oh, right. Jeez.
It's all right. It's what they're here for. But yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at today is a would you rather, but we were wanting to theme it through adventure games. So, you know, we want both of the options to be mildly unappealing. And then we're going to force the other person to pick which one is less appealing.
Yes.
That's kind of the rules. Yeah.
Exactly. Because Anna played Would You Rather this week, and I played Would You Rather this week, and we didn't know that. It wasn't, coordinated Would You Rathering. It just so happened to be. And so here we are. I was imagining that would go somewhere, it'd be at all fun to hear me say, but it actually wasn't at all.
It turns out it was just that kind of a week, though, because it was super random. Because I messaged Paul, and I'm like, oh, I was just playing Would You Rather this week. He's like, huh, that's funny. So was I.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. She's not paraphrasing. I said, that's funny, comma. So was I. No, it wasn't. Mine was on a camping trip. I went camping with my kid to Estes Park, which is where they filmed The Shining, sort of, and we saw chipmunks and played Would You Rather. And it was very nice. We also climbed Mount Kruger. So,
like Freddy Krueger?
yes, thank you for biting on that. Exactly like Freddy Krueger. It has a very molten, kind of burny, rocky looking, a Ray Liotta looking face, like a decorative
Right.
holiday
Just make
board.
sure not to fall asleep on it or anything, because.
Right, yeah. Man,
Right. Yeah.
that invoked a horrible visual. Just
For everybody listening too, as well, I'm sure.
yeah.
So
just
yes,
Ray Liotta just getting up in there. Sorry. Okay. So
that's okay. Go ahead. You were gonna sew. You can.
Am I just gonna Would You Rather to you?
Sure, you can.
Okay. So, would you rather have to type every command manually for the rest of your life, AGI style? So everything you do in your life, you have to type it out, which is quite funny. Okay. Or never be able to save your game. And actually, this fell off a cliff on the second half because you can't save your game of life. So I don't know where I was going with this one. I guess what I mean
I think
is
you can't save
play.
your game. Yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, right. It would suck. I would actually be very upset if okay, but hang on. If I couldn't save my game ever, I could just leave it running if it wasn't a Sierra game. Like nowadays, does it even matter?
Right.
If you can't ever save your game anymore?
No.
Because you can just leave it on or you can just exit it and pick it up at a point. I don't know. But then every classic game that you play, you'd never be able to finish one, ever. If you couldn't save your game, you would never finish another classic Sierra game, ever, for as long as you lived.
But you got to weigh that against typing out everything. So, like, every time
With
you
our
take a sip of
phones,
water, every sip of water is sip water.
water.
Yeah.
It would make you have to put a lot more thought into what you do in the day. It would be like, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Alexander technique, but it has to do with like how your body is positioned and the awareness of what you do from day to day, how you sit down and how you stand up. It'd be kind of like that, but on a larger scale.
Wow. Whoa.
So you'd have to think about it. Drive car. Okay, but it would be difficult when you're driving because you'd be like, turn left. You'd have to type it into something. Turn right, shift gears. You'd probably die, huh?
I don't know if that...
If you had to do that.
I mean, it does say you'd have to type every command manually, but even in, like, Police Quest AGI, you could use the arrow keys to drive. So I feel like...
But then would I have to use arrow keys instead of a steering wheel? Now I'm going a little too deep on this. Okay, I guess I would have to choose never being able to save my game, but I would be very sad. But I will take the opportunity to get very good at games. Like back in the day in the Classic Gamers Guild, Stieg, one of the guilders, would have these challenges where you had to get as far as you could in a game without dying. And whoever got the furthest would be knighted for the next one. So, you know, I got all the way up in Space Quest 4 to where the space police are trying to catch you in the mall and you're trying to go up in the roller rink area there.
That's really far.
I did get that far. Yeah. And I recorded it. I recorded it. So it was real and it happened.
You could sense all the nerds just clenching their jaw like, I might need proof on this one. You're like, I recorded it, you fucking... Sorry.
It's true.
Yeah.
I did it with Space Quest, but then I died on the race, the hovercraft race or whatever. In the first one where you finally have to do that, obviously, like I did not make it through that without dying.
It's impressive you made it that far in 4 because in the beginning that zombie guy, he's randomized, right? He just kind of gets you sometimes. Just pops up and screams in your face.
I didn't tell you what I got. I was out at the thrift shop. You guys will like this, maybe, hopefully. Like, I always like themed collections. Like, I like to put little bits with my big boxes so that it makes a complete collection. Add in the strategy guides, add in the hint books, add in a big box. So, for my Space Quest 4 collection, I got a promotional Energizer bunny from the same time period that the game came out. Like, pink with the drum and the whole thing. I found it at a thrift shop for 25 cents, and it's perfect. So now when I do my little staged photo op, there will be the little bunny in the front, and it made me so happy.
Does Anna sound Canadian to you guys? I wonder...
Do I sound Canadian?
Yeah, I don't know. I've been hearing you for too long now, but I can't... I can't tell if it's the way you talk or if it's just this Canadianness. It's like some words you say want to be English, but they're not. It's very interesting. We need a comment section so people can say stuff in the whatevers.
I'd love to hear it. I'd like to hear, because I've been told that I pretty much sound like I'm a West Coast person. Like I could be from anywhere in British Columbia all the way down like to Portland, Oregon, or, you know, maybe not so far down as California, but up along the West Coast, Northwest, Pacific Northwest, I guess.
Pacific Northwest.
Because when I was in Mexico, I had a couple people say that, like, where are you from? Like, a lot of people thought I was from Seattle. A lot of people said, are you from Seattle? And I'm like, nope.
I don't know how definitively not Canadian Seattle is the problem. You know what I mean? That's like, what? A bloody stone's something throw.
It's just like us. Seattle's the same. It's all the same. Portland's the same. It's just, like, we're all kind of gritty and a little wild. It's all about the same. Water cities. You know, scary stuff all around us. Big ocean. So what about you? Sorry. Do you want
No, okay, right. I guess back on topic.
Do you want to answer that? What one would you do? I'm curious.
Neither. I'm not participating. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. I don't want to play. Jesus. Okay.
No, I would in the spirit of you know, the gameplay and reciprocity, I would fucking never save your game because you don't have to save your game anymore.
Right. Exactly. All right. Would you rather have Cedric as your lifelong emotional support animal or be followed everywhere by the narrator from Leisure Suit Larry 6? So you have your whole life narrated, or Cedric's there to say, watch out, don't go down that way. But anyway, I won't answer. You answer first.
I almost want to, because I can't remember the narrator from Larry 6, so I kind of almost want to change it to like Gary Owens, just to highlight that even if it was like the best narrator ever, you're still stuck with them your entire life narrating everything.
You're going to hear me change it right now. Gary Owens. That's how easy I am. There you go.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for physically changing it too, just in case we both forgot what we were doing halfway through this. Okay, so somebody narrates everything you do, which I'm sorry, I've been a little vulgar already this episode, but climaxing in a sexual activity would be hilarious.
And there he goes, folks. And there it is. Where's it going to go?
That would be so fun if Gary Owens was there to be all that makes my nipples hard.
That's amazing. That makes my nipples hard.
Shut the fuck up, Gary. You're ruining the...
Do you guys know that is actually a line that is not like made up in any way? That is actually a real soundbite of Gary Owens saying that. It's just not in the game, in case you're wondering.
Yes, that's been the beginning of our show since before AI. That's our proof. I found it in the Space Quest 6 files all by myself a long ass time ago. And recently, Space Quest Historian and One Short I got together and found where it was supposed to be in the script, which was fun.
Where was it supposed to be?
Ah, damn it. I thought you were going to remember. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. No, it totally makes sense that it would be there,
That's
actually.
okay. It took us 6.5 years to tell people what that's about. They can wait 6.5 more for the why.
Something to look forward to. So you're kind of into the narrator thing. So it's kind of like a threesome, really, at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. I don't know. I shouldn't say that.
Although, wouldn't it be the same with Cedric? Like, oh, don't go there. It's a poisonous. I won't finish. I did the thing, like Richard Aronson was on our podcast. You guys heard that one before? And he said that was the secret. That was the trick to making the sounds for Cedric is he grabs his actual throat, like right on the throat ball, or I guess for him it would be the Adam's apple. What would you call it? I'm sorry. The thing in the throat. But you grab it and you shake it back and forth. So it's like poisonous. Yeah. So you're not doing it with your voice, you're doing it with your throat.
Grab him by the throat ball. Man, that's
right.
Funny. Fun fact, I don't have an Adam's apple because I don't have a thyroid, and the thyroid is what pushes the Adam's apple out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that about you.
Okay, sorry. So Cedric is following you around, or...
And can other people hear Gary? I'm going to say that nobody else can hear the narrator but you. So if that influences your decision, it's just in your head.
Is that like an Ally McBeal thing? Didn't she have like
yeah, she had like that internal...
Why does my brain know that? I literally didn't even watch that show.
It's because of the Dancing Baby. Everybody knows because of Dancing Baby. Remember Dancing Baby?
I just wish my brain would delete that and make space for useful things like fucking basic math.
No.
Instead, it's carrying around that bullshit.
Forever. Yeah.
The whole whether or not people can hear the narrator makes a big difference.
That's why I said that. Because if somebody else could hear the narrator all the time, that would be...
A lot more fun.
A lot more fun, actually. But no, it's just you and it's in your head, and you have to hear it for everything you do.
That's a lot less fun. Right, okay,
Yeah.
So what's the alternative? Cedric is your lifelong emotional support.
Yeah, so essentially everywhere you go, Cedric's kind of there. Unless it's scary, then he'll wait.
So the pros is you can bring them into stores that don't allow animals, and
Yes.
the cons is that it's Cedric.
Yes.
I don't feel like I'd be able to focus if Gary Owens was in my head all the time.
I'd be laughing all the time. I'd be like, my God, this is so funny.
But could you focus if Cedric was, perched up on whatever, judging you and telling you how he's going to hang back?
I think I'm not answering till you do.
Oh, right, that's fair. All right, I'm going with Gary Owens.
You're going with Gary Owens? That's actually a pretty good choice. I think that's a popular choice.
Because, one of the two is going to start to affect who you are as a person, and I'd rather that be Gary.
Although Gary would make you feel like an idiot all the time, and Cedric would kind of boost you up a little.
Right. I just keep thinking how funny it would be to have like an erection problem with Gary Owens as the narrator.
It makes getting older fun. Well, I'm gonna say since it's just in my head, I'd also pick Gary Owens because if other people could hear him as well, I'd pick Cedric though.
Part of me still trying to remember something I wanted to say before you said throat ball and really
Threw you off.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it. What the fuck was it? I'm going to let it go, I guess. Okay, whatever. Next one. Would you rather arm wrestle Wally the cartographer from Monkey Island or teach LeChuck how to use Windows 95 specifically?
Wow, Windows 95 specifically, that's funny. I'm going to walk through both of these for a minute. For one, to get LeChuck over, like, I guess I'd have to do it at his boat. He's on the boat, he's parked on shore, and he's like, I need the internet running, otherwise I can't take over something. Well, he doesn't really take things over, but I can't go around being a bad pirate. So you got to go onto his boat, and you got to go in, and I don't think I'd be able to teach him. I think I'd just have to set everything up and then show him where to click. I can't even imagine him using a computer, though. He seems so old school. Like, it seems weird to think about LeChuck using a computer. That would be a fun picture.
I don't know if it's LeChuck from Monkey Island 2. He can't even get close to the computer. He'll keep melting it.
Yeah, he'd melt the computer. And
Can Ghost
Ghost
LeChuck even touch the keys?
That's a good... well, he's more of a zombie.
In the first one, he's straight up Ghost, though.
Oh, yeah. In the first one, he's straight up Ghost. But think about if it was Engelbert. Engelbert could push a keyboard key, I think.
Maybe.
Do you think he could? Actually, that's
know.
right on the verge, because that is such a... I mean, if ghosts can clack on a keyboard, that actually changes everything.
Because I think Engelbert could press more... Okay, this is so nerdy, but the logic in my head would be he could press a key on a plastic musical keyboard, but not the key of a piano.
Right.
Like the difference in the weightedness. So maybe he could press the key of like a modern mushy bullshit keyboard, but he wouldn't be able to press a nice clicky model type
So he could play like a Casio, maybe diddle out a little tune or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
and then it would get wet.
Right, exactly. Probably not.
Probably not. Because, yeah, that would be too obvious, too. Okay, but to arm wrestle Wally the cartographer, like, I'm a pretty good arm wrestler at the best of times. He's a tiny little wiener boy that makes maps. I mean, he can't even see without his little monocle thing. I'm going to come in, I'm going to, like, twist his wrist backwards, and I'm going to take him down in 2 seconds. There's no challenge, man. Where's the challenge? My arm muscles are probably bigger than his neck.
Yeah, I guess I'm doubting the construction of this question, because...
Are you? You doubt all your questions, man.
I
ain't doubting nothing. This is all you.
Well, because, I mean, arm wrestling Wally's not a challenge, so it's like, what are we doing here? Are we trying... Look, I blame past me completely, but I'm just saying, what are we going for here? Would you rather easily win an arm wrestling contest or frustratingly try to teach a pirate a computer? It's not even...
I guess.
It's not even a fucking competition at all. I mean,
surprisingly enough, I pick the arm wrestling.
As a left-handed person, how does arm wrestling work? See, I could beat him with my right arm, I feel like.
You probably could. I mean, although maybe his arm muscles are strong because he was hanging for so long. By his arms.
Yeah, that's a good try. Okay, well, I'd rather do the thing that's really easy and not annoying.
Yeah,
As
so
opposed
let's
to
do
the
that.
thing that's really hard and annoying.
Then let's just wrestle Wally. That'll work just fine.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, both of us are wrestling Wally. All right, I'm going to give you one of my questions that I don't have a problem with. Let's see. Oh, no, I picked one that's a repeat. Okay, I'm going to pick this one. Would you rather be turned into a frog, a la King's Quest 3, because, Manana and all that, the frog curse, or a chicken by the Voodoo Lady in Monkey Island, or a frog by Baba Yaga in Quest for Glory?
Oh, okay, that's where you're going with that, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to make my first on-podcast Quest for Glory reference.
Were you?
I was.
Were you really?
Yeah. Because Baba Yaga and the frog, and I know that now. I've earned that,
I'm just so used to you not knowing those things.
I know, me too, exactly.
Oh my God,
Very
I'm so
exciting.
happy right now.
Very cool. So
Okay, so which frog? Which frog in which game? A frog in King's Quest, a frog in Quest for Glory, or a chicken in Monkey Island? That's your choices.
Or can I just be horny?
Okay, the frog from Willy Beamish.
Yes.
Sure, pick a frog. Actually, forget the chicken. Can the chicken. Chicken stupid. Which frog would you rather be? The frog from King's Quest 3, the frog in Monkey Island, if you become one, or the one you just mentioned?
I have a really funny joke line. I'm gonna get to that, I promise. I have a really funny joke thing I wrote down for Phantom Fellows, but I don't think I can put it in Phantom Fellows. I think it's just a little too crass, like just a little over the line, so I'm going to share it here. It's the idea, it's not a punchline, none of my shit ever is, but just the idea of a girl meets like a really nice guy, and like everything about him is like perfect, right? He's got like a good job, he's like a genuinely nice guy, capable, all that good stuff. The only thing is that in his free time, he really likes to jerk off chickens. So it's like you have to deal with this conundrum of like really like perfect guy, but his thing is to jerk chickens off, and you just have to accept that. And like there's no victim. The chickens are obviously fine with it. So it's like it's kind of victimless. It's just deeply weird, and it's the only thing. It's the only thing that he does.
Right.
Okay, we've invented our own would you rather. Would you rather be with this guy or not?
Oh, I would totally be with the guy because unlimited eggs, man. And happy chickens.
I don't think that's how jerking chickens off works, but
well, but if you'd obviously always have chickens, right?
Right.
Like you wouldn't be able to not have chickens. So you're always going to have eggs, which means your family's always going to be provided for. He's never going to like run away or cheat on you because the chickens are at home. I mean, the only thing you have to worry about is if you go somewhere else and there's other chickens. But then you're like, okay, what's one chicken to another?
And then you have kids, and the kids are all like, "Where's Dad?" And you're just like, "He's doing the thing he likes to do." And they're all like, "Okay, we'll give him a few minutes."
Space. Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. I mean, I think it'd be fine.
Fantastic. Well,
it's amazing what a girl will put up with for stability.
Yeah, thank you. I'm collecting this for data too. That's good to know.
No, that's totally.
I mean, not
because
I like to jerk chickens off, and this wasn't a ruse, a social experiment to see if I could spring this on some poor, unsuspecting woman in the future. Sorry for my son who just came in the room like Kramer, and I guess I'll have to stop talking about that chicken thing we were talking about. But anyway, we'll go back to the things. Is it my turn to ask you a
frog?
normal
Which
question?
frog would you rather be? Which frog in which game and why?
I'd rather be Horny.
I mean,
because Horny is born a frog. He's used to being a frog. He knows frog life, and every now and then he gets fed soda.
Yeah, and he gets to watch video games and even participate in some cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm going with Horny because he's not imprisoned in an amphibian's body like the other two are. What about you? You kind of said Horny. What's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather, like, even if I picked the frog from King's Quest IV, let alone the spell from King's Quest III, either way, you'd have to be a spirit trapped in a frog's body, which would be very frustrating. It would be more fun if you could be the frog and be trapped in the spirit of a person's body. But you could only do that if you started as a frog in the first place. So by that logic alone, I would have to pick Horny.
Well, okay, hold on. I got one little caveat to throw at you. What if the King's Quest IV frog, once you get out of the frog body, you are a prince? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, with Horny, you live and die as a frog. That's all you'll ever know is frog life. But at least in King's Quest IV, you have a chance of becoming a prince of a kingdom, and then presumably a king one day.
But such a dick. I really don't want to be a jerk.
At what cost?
At what cost? Yeah, I just thought he was kind of a jerk. He was really, like, presumptuous and arrogant. I wouldn't want to be that.
To anybody that's ever woken up early from school and saw their dog sleeping peacefully as you had to get on a bus in the rain, you know the quiet desire to just live a simple life as a frog. Every now and then get fed some fucking soda. It's not a bad deal.
No.
All right.
Take a fly here and there. You're always horny.
I mean, he gets completely emasculated by Turbo Frog, but that's a whole nother.
Yeah, but you know what? Turbo Frog's, he does that to everybody.
That's fair. Yeah.
He's so, pumped.
Lickable.
Yeah.
What?
Sure. Totally. You ever lick a frog lately? I thought it was toads you're supposed to lick.
Yeah, no, I passed on the whole thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't lick anything.
I'm scared to ask you if you did. I don't want you to admit stuff on this.
I've never licked a frog. I've licked a lot of things, but not a frog.
Wow.
Yeah.
In your head, you're like, I looked at toad, though.
Totally.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, you ask me what is hopefully coming close to your last one.
It is. It is my last one. And even if it wasn't, it is now. Would you rather get stuck... Okay, I like this one, I think. Would you rather... I've liked the other two until I read them, but... Would you rather get stuck in the Colonel's Bequest mansion with everyone suspicious of you, or get stuck in Police Quest, where you have to follow every exact traffic rule or die.
That is a good one. You're stuck in the mansion. Okay, well, it seems to me that if you're stuck in the mansion and everyone is suspicious of you, then you might be the one murdering everybody. If so, then it would be a good position to be in because you're safe and you're not going to get murdered.
Right.
And everybody is suspicious with good cause. But if they're all suspicious of me and the murderer is still running around, that doesn't put me in a very good position.
Except for that the murderer might want to keep you alive since you're keeping the heat off of them.
Right. So, and I wonder how long I'm in I guess I'm going to assume stuck in the mansion until everybody dies or I kill them all. And in Police Quest, I would assume I would have to follow every traffic rule forever and ever and ever and ever. But, I mean, if you just simply follow the rules and do what you're supposed to do, you'd be fine. And really, if you misbehave in traffic and get in a car accident, you would die anyways in real life. So the Police Quest one isn't too far from what I'm already doing, technically. But it's like, oh, so you accidentally speed and you're dead. That would suck. I mean, either one could potentially end up in death, couldn't it?
I suppose. The Police Quest one is the sketchier one. Because
Yeah.
it's like, do you ever, when you're approaching the stop sign and there's nobody around and you have to make a complete stop.
Oh my God, no California stops allowed.
Frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a whole thing. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm going to get stuck in the mansion. I'm going to assume I'm the murderer, though, because everyone's suspicious of me. But I'm going to still take that one anyway.
Yeah, me too. Because even if you're not the murderer, what's like the worst case scenario is that the police end up arresting you and then they can't prove it because you didn't do it.
Right, exactly. Pointless.
So, okay.
Good. All right, I've got one more for you. This is an exciting one. Would you rather date someone who only quotes Sam from Sam and Max? Like, only. This is their whole dialogue and everything they say to you is directly... But you know what? There is a lot of material. Like, they've done cartoons. Like, it's all of this stuff. Anything Sam has ever been documented to say. Or someone who constantly role plays as Alexander from King's Quest. Like, all the time.
What do I have to do?
Never
with,
leaves it.
Is this, you said date?
Date. Like, you don't have to live with them. You don't have to marry them. But you do have to date them.
That's absolutely Sam. I can't go on a date with somebody wearing...
Prince clothes. I'd actually rather date Sam than Alexander. If I had a choice.
Yeah, I'm good. I feel like Alexander's the kind of guy that has like a chair facing the bed in the bedroom.
Yeah. No, the only thing I worry about is that potentially Sam, I don't know, like, I'm guessing he must have genitalia. 'Cause he'd have to.
Yeah, it's like like any other dog. It's like a little lipstick, kind of twisted and it comes out. Not you. Never mind.
That's so bad.
I meant lipstick itself. I didn't mean a dog's penis in that exact scenario.
There's been a lot of talk about animal privates in this episode. I am so sorry.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
I am not.
No, he's not. In fact, he's like, finally, we've got an episode with enough animal genitals in it to make me happy.
I can't believe we passed through frogs without bringing. Never mind. So
You're a moose? Oh, that's funny. They're calling you Anonymous Moose in the document, but you don't like moose. I like that.
I hate moose. Who's calling me a moose?
The Google Docs gives you a name. Like, so it gives you, like, you were Anonymous Snake last time. Now you're Anonymous Moose.
Well,
That's
Jesus,
you.
better than snake. Golly, okay. Golly. Okay.
So, yeah, this was a little bit of a quicker episode because something exciting is happening. Paul is, having a pajama party with a bunch of his friends this weekend. So he is unable to record an episode. So
yes, that's right. We're having a sleepover with Venture Game Geek and One Short Eye.
It's a pajama party.
Yeah.
And you guys are all going to document it, right? And share everything you do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Of course.
We're gonna eat pints of ice cream and talk about boys.
And put that stuff on your face, the mask, so that, your skin is
Yeah,
soft.
get little cukes.
Yeah, and do like some foot care, some foot baths.
Yeah. I'm gonna show them the way on that.
That's adorable. Like munching celery sticks?
I do think I think I'm literally dyeing Adventure Game Geek's hair.
Oh, are you
So
really?
yeah, this isn't
That's
that far from
adorable.
reality. Yeah, and then we're
Oh,
gonna do
yeah.
a shopping montage.
Oh, that's... I can hear the music already. Okay, that's good. So, but we wanted to get an episode out, and we thought this would be fun, and yeah. So you can tell us if it was, or just don't. It's fine. You don't. You don't need to tell us what you thought. But I do want to say, hey, thank you to a couple of our new Patreon members, Fabian, Charles, SF, and Mercre. Thank you for. Well, you're not so new, but I haven't said your name out. But thank you so much for joining. Even if it's free, even if it's $1, we're happy that you care. So thanks for caring.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would like to say thank you to our top tier members. Let me just do the click. True Believer, Brian Chapman, Christopher, Gareth, Mark, Mick, and Tim, Yanis. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you, and thank you for supporting the podcast and listening to us, mumble about things and tell each other that we both each like things. I appreciate that. Otherwise, anything you want to say? Okay, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all the listeners, because we were able to get that review that wasn't so positive about the Phantom Fellows pushed down, and we've got the positive review on top. And it's really thanks to you guys. We really appreciate it. Steam's algorithm is really tough, and they don't have any mercy. They don't care who's made the game or what. So, you guys have really helped us out.
Yeah, thank you.
This week, you could really help by just sharing the game. Anytime you see a post, something up on one of the socials, just give it a share. You don't even need to say anything, just to get it out there, because I think the people that like the game really, really like the game, and we just want to get it in front of more people. So share, and share, and that would definitely mean the world to the both of us.
Yes, for sure. And if you have played it and you want to leave a review, reviews would really help too, especially on GOG, because I'm going to court them pretty soon about the next game. So it would be helpful to have as many positive reviews on GOG before I approach them about, putting the other game in their store. It
takes 20 positive reviews in a 1 month period to push you up to the top where they start feeding you into the algorithm. So, that would really help, even if it was just a few words, for sure, if you liked it. And if you didn't like it, that's okay. You don't have to tell us.
Or anybody else.
Or anybody else. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening to the episode. You can say hi. You can find us on Twitter at CGG Podcast or at the Phantom Fellows. We're on Blue Sky. You can email us at cggpodcast.com. We're a Facebook page and a Facebook group. We're on Instagram and YouTube.
That's true. All of that is true. Oh, don't do murder. Okay.
Hi there, and okay.
Oh, sorry.
Hi there.
Hey,
It's
how's
okay.
it going?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Hi. Hey, Paul.
Hey.
What's up?
Hi.